Life doesn't wait for anyone. Every second you hesitate, someone else is moving ahead, building their dreams while you stay stuck in fear. Today, I'm going to give you the 9 rules to win life. Rules that will transform how you think, how you act, and how you conquer your destiny. If you want to master your mind, your actions, and your future, hit that subscribe button now, because this is the fuel your soul has been waiting for. This speech is about creating unstoppable motivation, unshakable discipline, unwavering faith, and a success mindset that refuses to quit, because life rewards action, not excuses. Remember, these 9 rules aren't just words. They are your blueprint for victory. Apply them, live them, and watch your life change. Subscribe now, because we're on a journey to win life together, one rule at a time. Life will never hand you success on a silver platter, and the moment you stop blaming others or your circumstances is the moment you step into real power. Every choice you've made, every action you've taken, and even every failure you've endured has brought you to this exact moment. And owning that completely is the first rule to winning life. When you take 100% responsibility, you stop giving away your power to excuses, to delays, to fear, and to the opinions of others. You stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems or hand you permission to chase your dreams. Responsibility means looking in the mirror and seeing yourself as the architect of your own destiny, knowing that every outcome in your life begins and ends with you. It's not about guilt or punishment. It's about clarity and control. When you embrace full responsibility, you understand that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a lesson, and every failure is a stepping stone to mastery. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver, choosing the path that aligns with your vision rather than the path dictated by fear or circumstance. Taking responsibility rewires your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, from victimhood to leadership, and from indecision to unstoppable action. It forces you to prioritize, to act decisively, and to follow through on commitments you make to yourself. You no longer look for shortcuts or external validation because you recognize that the power to change, the power to succeed, and the power to create the life you want has always been inside you, waiting for you to claim it. Once you internalize this truth, hesitation disappears, procrastination loses its grip, and excuses become irrelevant as you step fully into the role of the person capable of shaping every moment of your life. Every decision you make, no matter how small, compounds into results, and the sooner you accept responsibility, the faster your growth accelerates. You begin to see patterns, make smarter choices, and align your actions with your long-term vision, transforming setbacks into momentum and doubt into unshakable confidence. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory or defeat in life begins, and mastering it is the key to unlocking your full potential. Every thought you allow to dominate your consciousness shapes your reality, influences your decisions, and determines your outcomes. So learning to control your mind is not optional, it's essential. A mind left unchecked becomes a breeding ground for fear, doubt, and distraction. But a disciplined mind becomes a powerhouse of clarity, focus, and resilience. When you consciously train your thoughts to focus on solutions instead of problems, on opportunities instead of obstacles, and on growth instead of stagnation, you begin to see the world differently, and your actions align with your highest purpose. Mastering your mind requires daily practice, the willingness to challenge limiting beliefs, and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself. It means rejecting negativity, refusing to entertain self-pity, and cutting out influences that cloud your thinking or drain your energy. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you exercise it with positive, strategic, and disciplined thinking, the stronger it becomes, and the easier it is to navigate challenges without being derailed by fear or uncertainty. Visualization, affirmation, meditation, and deliberate focus are tools that sharpen your mental edge, allowing you to anticipate problems, plan with precision, and act with confidence. A controlled mind sees possibilities where others see impossibilities, solutions where others see chaos, and opportunities where others see failure. It gives you the clarity to make decisions aligned with your goals, the resilience to push through setbacks, and the wisdom to act with patience and persistence. When your mind is masterful, your emotions no longer control you, and external circumstances lose their power over your internal state, allowing you to create outcomes that reflect the strength of your thoughts and the intensity of your vision. Every action, every choice, and every habit begins in the mind, and the sooner you take command of it, the faster your life transforms into a reflection of the focus, courage and discipline. You cultivate every single day. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the single trait that separates those who dream from those who actually win in life. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in bursts and disappears when challenges arise, but discipline carries you through. When inspiration fades, when obstacles appear, and when the world seems to conspire against your progress. Building relentless discipline means committing to actions even when you don't feel like it, showing up consistently, and holding yourself accountable to the standards you set, regardless of circumstances or mood. It is the ability to delay gratification, to resist temptation, and to choose long-term success over short-term comfort, knowing that every small discipline action compounds over time into massive results. Discipline demands that you prioritize your goals above distractions, excuses, and fleeting pleasures, and that you create routines that reinforce your growth and productivity. It is not about punishment or rigidity. It is about freedom, the freedom to achieve what you set out to do because you control your habits, your focus, and your effort. When you cultivate relentless discipline, resistance becomes manageable, fear loses its grip, and challenges become opportunities to strengthen your resolve. It trains your mind to push through discomfort, to take action when it would be easier to quit, and to maintain consistency when results are not immediate. Discipline also sharpens decision-making, because when you have clear standards and routines, you no longer waste energy on choices that do not align with your vision. Over time, disciplined effort becomes automatic, and success is no longer dependent on luck or fleeting emotions but on predictable, repeatable behaviors that move you steadily toward your objectives. Every great accomplishment in history, every breakthrough in business, art, or sport, is a product of relentless discipline, applied day after day, even when no one is watching, and even when the world offers easier alternatives that would lead to mediocrity. Fear is not your enemy. It is a signal that you are on the edge of growth, and the moment you learn to step into it, you unlock levels of strength, courage, and achievement that most people will never experience. Every time you allow fear to control your actions, you shrink your potential and settle for a life smaller than what you are capable of. But when you face fear head-on, you send a message to yourself and to the world that nothing can stop you from pursuing your vision. Embracing fear requires awareness and action. It means recognizing the fear, understanding its origin, and deliberately choosing to move forward despite it, knowing that discomfort is the gateway to transformation. Fear often disguises itself as doubt, hesitation, or procrastination, and it thrives in the absence of action. But the moment you act, the power of fear begins to dissolve, replaced by confidence and momentum. Each time you confront what scares you, you expand your comfort zone, and what once seemed impossible becomes achievable, building a foundation of resilience that prepares you for even greater challenges. Taking action in the face of fear strengthens your mind and character, proving that you are not defined by circumstances or limitations, but by your willingness to rise above them. Fear is temporary, but the lessons and growth it catalyzes are permanent, and the victories you gain by moving forward despite it compound over time, shaping you into someone unstoppable. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the commitment to act despite it. And the more you practice this, the more fear loses its ability to dictate your life. Each step you take into fear builds momentum, self-trust, and clarity, transforming hesitation into decisiveness and doubt into unshakable faith in your ability to overcome, achieve, and rise above any challenge that stands between you and your dreams. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have, and how you manage it determines the trajectory of your entire life. Every second that passes is gone forever, never to return. And yet most people treat it carelessly, wasting hours on distractions, indecision, and habits that do not serve their growth. Protecting your time is not just about being busy. It is about being intentional with every moment, prioritizing what matters and eliminating anything that dilutes your focus or energy. When you understand that time is finite and irreplaceable, every choice gains weight, and every action becomes more purposeful. Winners treat their schedules like sacred contracts with themselves, knowing that consistency and focus compound over time into massive results, while those who squander their time drift aimlessly, hoping success will come by chance. Protecting your time requires discipline, planning, and the courage to say no to anything that does not align with your vision. Because every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. It also means eliminating distractions that steal your attention, whether from social media, toxic relationship, or unnecessary commitments, and creating an environment that fosters deep focus, productivity, and growth. Investing time in learning, skill development, and meaningful relationships multiplies your potential, while wasting it on fleeting pleasures or idle complaints erodes your future. Guarding your time also involves structuring your day with clarity, setting boundaries, and dedicating energy to the activity that drive your goals forward, because unstructured time leads to indecision, procrastination, and frustration. Every habit you build around protecting your time strengthens your capacity to achieve, and every deliberate action compounds into momentum that propels you toward your vision. Understanding the value of your time forces you to act decisively, make faster and smarter choices, and prioritize long-term results over immediate gratification, creating a life of purpose rather than passivity. Those who master their time are able to achieve more with less effort because their actions are aligned with their highest priority. Their energy is preserved for what truly matters, and their progress is predictable, measurable, and unstoppable. Time, once lost, can never be regained, and the sooner you internalize its value, the sooner you reclaim control over your life, amplify your productivity, and create opportunities that others miss while wasting theirs, turning each moment into a stepping stone toward extraordinary success that compounds and accelerates with every deliberate choice you make. Faith is the invisible force that powers every great achievement and sustains you when the path ahead is uncertain, because it is belief in what cannot yet be seen that transforms dreams into reality. It is the quiet conviction that no matter how many obstacles stand in your way, the effort you invest, the persistence you maintain, and the decisions you make will eventually bear fruit. Cultivating faith is not about blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is about nurturing a deep trust in yourself, in your vision, and in the process of life, even when results are delayed or circumstances seem impossible. Faith allows you to rise above doubt, fear, and the skepticism of others, giving you the inner strength to keep moving forward when every external sign points to quitting. It fuels resilience by reminding you that challenges are temporary, lessons are disguised as setbacks, and every trial is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling future success. Belief becomes the foundation upon which your actions are built, because when you truly trust in your capacity to achieve, hesitation disappears, procrastination loses its grip, and every step you take carries purpose and direction. Faith also influences your mindset, shaping how you interpret failures, obstacles, and criticism, turning them into feedback rather than defeat, guidance rather than limitation. The more deeply you believe in your vision, the more your actions align with it, and the more consistently you invest energy, focus, and resources into what matters most. Faith is amplified when combined with discipline, planning, and relentless effort, because belief without action is empty, and action without belief is scattered and weak. Every successful person you admire, every innovator, leader, and creator, has relied on faith to sustain them through uncertainty, to guide them when others doubted, and to keep them committed when the path was unclear. Faith creates a mental and emotional armor, allowing you to navigate setbacks with calm determination, to see possibilities where others see impossibilities, and to persevere with unwavering commitment. It transforms hesitation into confidence, doubt into clarity, and challenges into opportunities, giving you the courage to take risks, embrace uncertainty, and continue relentlessly toward your goals, knowing that what you believe in today, you will manifest tomorrow through consistent effort, patience, and unshakable trust in the journey you have chosen. Life is a constant teacher, and the moment you stop learning, adapting, and evolving is the moment you begin to fall behind, because the world around you is moving forward whether you choose to or not. Every failure, every setback, every unexpected twist carries within it a lesson that, if recognized and applied, can propel you further than you ever imagined. Learning is not limited to formal education or the accumulation of knowledge. It is the conscious effort to observe, reflect, and extract wisdom from every experience, good or bad. Adaptation is the natural extension of learning, because knowledge without action is wasted potential, and the ability to adjust your strategies, behaviors, and mindset in response to changing circumstances is what separates those who survive from those who thrive. Life will test you relentlessly, and clinging to outdated habits, rigid thinking, or comfort zones ensure stagnation. But embracing change and evolving continuously transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Evolution requires courage because it demands that you acknowledge your limitations, confront your mistakes, and take the difficult steps necessary to improve yourself. It is uncomfortable, it challenges your identity, and it often requires letting go of old beliefs, toxic relationships, or familiar routines. But this discomfort is the crucible in which growth is forged. Every time you fail and reflect, every time you experiment and adjust, you build resilience, creativity, and insight, allowing you to approach the next challenge with greater wisdom and strategy. Learning, adapting, and evolving are interconnected processes. You cannot truly evolve without learning, and you cannot implement what you learn without adapting to new circumstances. The more intentionally you engage in this cycle, the faster your personal and professional development accelerates, and the more capable you become of navigating uncertainty and complexity. Those who commit to constant evolution are never defeated by failure, because they view it as feedback, never overwhelmed by change because they see it as opportunity, and never stagnant because they are always moving forward. Evolution is not a single event but a lifelong process, and it requires humility, curiosity, and persistence, because the world rewards those who are flexible, innovative, and willing to improve continuously. It also requires patience, because real transformation is gradual, compounding over time as small improvements accumulate into significant breakthroughs. By embracing learning, adapting, and evolving as guiding principles, you position yourself to seize opportunity others miss, to pivot when circumstances demand, and to turn challenges into catalysts for growth. The person who evolves consciously becomes unstoppable, because they are not limited by past failures, constrained by old patterns, or dictated by fear. They respond strategically, act decisively, and innovate relentlessly, creating a life that reflects intentional growth, continuous improvement, and the power to overcome any obstacle, ultimately achieving a level of mastery and fulfillment that only those who commit to perpetual evolution can experience. The people you surround yourself with have an immense impact on your mindset, your energy, and ultimately the trajectory of your life, because human beings are profoundly influenced by the attitudes, habits, and beliefs of those closest to them. If you spend most of your time with people who doubt, complain, or settle for mediocrity, their mindset will slowly seep into yours, shaping your thoughts, your decisions, and your level of ambition without you even realizing it. On the other hand, when you choose to surround yourself with winners, people who inspire, challenge, and elevate, you create an environment that constantly pushes you toward growth, excellence, and achievement. Winning people set high standards for themselves and those around them, and their commitment to discipline, focus, and persistence becomes contagious, motivating you to raise your own expectations and hold yourself accountable to your goals. Being in the presence of high achievers exposes you to new ideas, strategies, and perspectives that you may not have discovered on your own, accelerating your learning and sharpening your ability to innovate. It also provides a support system that encourages risk-taking, celebrates progress, and helps you navigate setbacks without losing momentum. Conversely, toxic relationships drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and instill doubt, making it harder to take decisive action or maintain the consistency required for success. Recognizing who belongs in your circle and who does not is a critical skill, and it requires honesty, courage, and self-awareness, because the influence of others is subtle but powerful, shaping your habits, your beliefs, and the way you see what is possible. Surrounding yourself with winners does not mean cutting yourself off from reality or avoiding people who are struggling. It means intentionally creating a core environment that challenges you, supports your growth, and holds you to a higher standard. It means seeking mentors, peers, and collaborators who inspire excellence, share your values, and push you to be better, while minimizing time spent with those who perpetuate negativity, fear, or complacency. The people in your inner circle act as mirrors and catalysts, reflecting the level of ambition you allow yourself to embrace and amplifying the energy and determination you bring to every endeavor. When you consistently choose the right environment, you are more likely to think bigger, act bolder, and persevere longer. Because success is not achieved in isolation, it is nurtured by those who uplift, challenge, and support you. Over time, your associations compound, shaping not just your results but your character, resilience, and vision, enabling you to reach heights that would be impossible if you attempted to navigate life with the wrong influences. Winning people create a culture of excellence, inspire confidence, and make success not just a goal but a natural outcome. And by consciously surrounding yourself with such individuals, you set the stage for exponential growth, unstoppable momentum, and the ability to thrive in ways that reflect the strength, ambition, and mindset of the company you keep. Knowledge, belief, planning, and strategy are all meaningless without action, because it is through bold, massive, and consistent action that ideas are transformed into results and dreams are transformed into reality. Taking action is the ultimate test of commitment, the measure of courage, and the only way to create momentum that cannot be stopped, because every great accomplishment in history has been achieved by people willing to act decisively, even when the outcome was uncertain or the risk was high. Bold action requires courage because it demands stepping into the unknown, confronting fear, and moving forward when the path is unclear. But it is in those moments of discomfort and uncertainty that real growth and extraordinary results are created. Massive action compounds effort and accelerates progress because small, hesitant steps may lead to incremental improvement. But bold, intentional moves create breakthroughs, attract opportunities, and generate energy that propels you faster than effort alone ever could. Taking action also teaches lessons that no book, seminar, or mentor can provide, because through execution you discover what works, what doesn't, and how to adjust your approach in real time, learning through experience, experimentation, and reflection. Action turns vision into reality by forcing you to confront obstacles, solve problems, and make decisions that refine your skills, strengthen your resolve, and clarify your goals. Hesitation and overthinking, on the other hand, delay progress, erode confidence, and give fear the power to dominate. But decisive action breaks inertia, builds self-trust, and proves to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Bold action requires discipline and consistency, because one-time effort produces temporary results, but repeated massive action compounds into unstoppable momentum that transforms your life, your influence, and your impact. It also inspires others, creating a ripple effect that attracts like-minded individuals, collaborators, and supporters who amplify your efforts and open doors that will remain closed to passive observers. Risk is inherent in action, but calculated risk is a necessary ingredient for extraordinary success, because playing it safe guarantees mediocrity, while taking bold steps positions you to seize opportunities, overcome challenges, and achieve what others consider impossible. Massive action is not reckless. It is strategic, intentional, and aligned with your vision, combining clarity of purpose with relentless execution, persistence in the face of setbacks, and the courage to keep moving forward despite uncertainty. Those who take bold action consistently separate themselves from the crowd because they turn ideas into results, plans into achievements, and potential into measurable success, creating a life defined not by hesitation or regret, but by relentless pursuit, tangible accomplishments, and the power of decisive, courageous, and unstoppable effort that accelerates growth, builds confidence, and transforms every challenge into a stepping stone toward extraordinary outcomes that reflect the full scope of their ambition, determination, and willingness to act when others only dream. Now is the moment to take everything you've learned and put it into action, because knowing the rules is meaningless without living by them, and winning life is not about luck, waiting, or wishing. It is about relentless effort, unwavering belief, and the courage to rise every time you fall. Embrace responsibility, master your mind, cultivate discipline, face your fears, protect your time, nurture your faith, learn and evolve, surround yourself with winners, and take bold action, and you will see that the life you've imagined is not only possible but inevitable when you refuse to settle, refuse to quit, and commit fully to becoming the person capable of achieving greatness. Because the journey may be challenging, the obstacle may be many, but your power, your potential, and your destiny are far greater than any temporary struggle. And every step you take aligned with these rules compounds into unstoppable momentum that carries you closer to a life of purpose, fulfillment, and extraordinary success.